I am Ming. I'm from Beijing. I work for the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. I'm a sociologist.
Great. How did you come to hear about the India-China Fellowship?
Well, actually, I attended one of the conferences in Beijing organized by ICI. So I got really interested in the program. I felt it's very exciting. That's how I got here.
What was the roundtable that you attended?
You mean in Beijing?
Yeah.
It was a conference on urban planning, and I think it was a discussion about urban issues, urban planning. And
was it the conference at the Central Academy of Fine Arts?
Actually, I attended that too, but there was another one in the Museum of Urban Planning in Beijing.
Oh, I see. And you were interested in the China Institute, and did you meet the fellows from last year?
Some of them. I had a conversation with some of the fellows, but not all.
And they said, "Come join us." What were the conversations about?
Well, actually, yes, they encouraged me to apply, and I at the beginning I thought I would not have qualified, but I applied anyway. So I thought I probably wrote a great essay.
Sure you did. Well, congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
And what about the fellowship seemed attractive to you?
Well, India is a country that I have always been interested in, because I think many people say this, that China, modernization of China took a very different path compared with India. And India, of course, adopted a Western parliamentary democratic system. And so I've been very curious how it's been working or not working. And of course, India and China really represent the two most comparable cases if we look at the countries, because they are both large countries with huge number of people, and they both of them have very rich, long civilizations, and the struggles that they have been through on their path to modernizations are similar, but of course there are also these divergent approaches to modernization. So I feel that's the convergence and the divergence, the similarities and differences between these countries are really fascinating to study.
Outside of the professional interest, what did you know about India?
Well, I know about a little bit about the caste system, marriage. India, the Hindu religion, just a little bit, but my knowledge about India is so limited. And I also know a little bit about the poor areas. I really hate to call them slums, because to me that's very insulting to people who live there. But my knowledge, is very limited, so that's why I'm very eager to learn more about Indian culture and society, because I'm a sociologist. That's my interest.
And have you been to India before?
Not yet. I'm going there hopefully in the summer. Everybody said I should not go during that time because it's a rain season, but
some people actually enjoy the monsoon season because it's cooler. And there's certain parts that flooded, but I was told that the monsoon actually cools things down because it's not as overheated.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
But it depends on where you go.
We'll see. I am prepared.
Yeah.
To go.
What places are you planning to go?
Delhi, of course, Mumbai, and I don't know about the rest of my trip, but I'm not going to have a lot of time there, so maybe 10 days, and So
and of course there's also the India residency.
Oh, you mean in November? The next residency in November?
March. Yeah, March.
You mean, yes, that's right. I'm sorry.
So you'll be going again.
Yes, but I've heard that the chances of exploring India would be limited because there will be a lot of conferences and maybe some planned activities too. Yeah.
Right. But when you go in the summer, it would be your own trip.
Yes. So there's the flexibility to explore. Well, I don't think that I'm going to learn a lot just doing a single trip. So I have begun to read books about India, especially books about the history of India. I think that's a good place to start.
Is it easy to get information about India in China?
I think there are books in English and as well as in Chinese. I think some of the popular books now have been translated into Chinese. But there's a growing interest in China on India. So, and there are also media coverages, newspapers, journal articles about India.
And what are the general perceptions of India? Could you summarize it?
General perception, you mean by Chinese?
Yeah.
Well, one of my colleagues went to attend a conference in India, and he came back and he said he's not going to go again because it's so horrible and the infrastructure is terrible, the roads are terrible. And another colleague again attended a conference there and came back and said everywhere is very dirty and yes, so there are some negative perceptions about India that are circling in China, but people also say quite different things. Some people say it's great, the historical sites and the people are very friendly, and so you hear a lot of very conflicting. You're getting a lot of conflicting information about India. That, I guess, gets me more curious, right?
What is your experience so far here at the residency, meeting all the India fellows?
It's been great. And of course, we have been here only for a few days, and we're learning from each other. But I think the books are really helpful to me because it gives me a much broader and sense of India's past and
That's great. That's good.
Anything else that you want to add or say?
Well, I just feel that India and China, as I said, are two huge countries, both on its rights in the power structure of the world. So it can be anticipated that they are both going to have very significant impacts on the global future that we and the succeeding generations will live. So it's very important that we gain insights into each of these two huge and complex societies, and also it's important to work toward the improvement of communications between these two countries because of yes, we all know about the historical dispute over border and the wall, and so I think this ICI offers a unique opportunity to participate, to engage in such a fascinating endeavor. So I consider it a privilege to be part of it, to which I look forward. And what else do you?
That's great.
That's fantastic.
I don't know.
Done perfect. That's
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was great. I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. No.